test. Hey, everybody. How you doing? My name is Brian Lieberman, and I'm super excited to be here with you all today. It is 5:35 on a Friday, and we're going to be learning some computer science today. It's going to be a pretty great day. So welcome YouTube, welcome Facebook, welcome Twitch. If you're out there, send a message. Let me know you're here. Say hello. And we're going to go ahead and get started really quickly here. I hope you're all ready. I'm just going to give people another 1 or 2 minutes to get in here, maybe 30 seconds, and we'll just go ahead and get started. So welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, everybody, we're just gonna go ahead and jump on in because I want to finish right at 7:30 so that if you have other plans after this, you can go ahead and do those. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I just want to start off by telling you how this class is going to work. And I also want to say thank you so much for jumping in here. No, it's not very easy to learn computer science, but this is going to be a great first step for you. So today we're going to be learning by doing. That's a big way of how I teach. It's my teaching philosophy. So I'll go ahead and get you started, and then I'll give you some challenges. And if you need any help along the way, I've got the chat on my on a screen on the side right here. So you just let me know, and I'll help you out any way I can. To start things off, we had a little icebreaker. Let's see if it worked at all, if anybody went in and did it. Looks like we have nobody doing the icebreaker. That's okay. It's day one. I mean, it's the first time I've done this. So this is a really cool site. You can type in anything you want. Today we're going to be, creating an app. Actually, you're going to get to build an app. So I wanted to know what kind of apps and softwares you use. The way this works is if you click on the one that's already there and you hit submit, then that one will get bigger. And if we add other things, like let's say you're like, oh, I really like using, let's say Facebook, right? You can hit submit, and then Facebook will come up on the screen as well. Not as big as Instagram, because Instagram has two right now. No worries, just a way to kind of get things started and rolling for today. So a lot of you might be asking, hey, what kind of materials do we really need for this class? Well, you're gonna need a computer with internet access. That's really, really important. It could be any operating system as long as you have access to your web browser. You're gonna need a smartphone, either Android or iOS. And you're gonna need something to take notes with, all right? Because studies show if you actually take notes, you will record and remember things better, right? And last but not least, water. You might be thinking, water? Like, why does water and technology? It's because we're gonna be using a lot of brain power today, and you're gonna need that water to help your brain stay afloat. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Nice, hey Lisa from SF, thank you so much for being here. All right, so welcome, all right? Big thing here is I really hope this inspires you to be a computer programmer or to help you get a more technical job and realize computer science isn't so tough, right? It's designed completely for beginners. So while learning the fundamentals of programming, we're going to be building iPhone and Android apps, and that's like the really big learn by doing, all right? You're going to be creating a lot of things. And all you really need is a computer, internet access, and a smartphone, so it'll be pretty easy to get started. So what are we doing today? Well, we're going to start off looking at what is computer science. There's going to be a little video, and we're going to have a little game show. It won't be Kahoot, because Kahoot wanted to charge me money. So it's going to be a little game show. And then we're going to be covering the basics of programming with this really cool game called Blockly Maze. We're going to play the game, and then we're going to go over the major coding concepts that you might have picked up while playing the game. Then we're going to take a quick 5-minute stretch break because you probably will have been sitting for about almost an hour by then. And then I'm going to introduce the software system that we're going to be using for coding called Thunkable. And I'm going to talk about what you can build with Thunkable. It has a free and a paid version, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then I'm going to let you run and do this little scavenger hunt where you're going to be able to find where everything is located in this platform so that you actually remember it and I'm not just showing you stuff. All right, so after this class, all right, what can you learn in the free first course if you want to continue? You can learn more about Thunkable, essentially. You're gonna learn about how more blocks fit together. You're gonna get to build 4 mini apps, and some of them are pretty complicated, right? You're gonna make an online portfolio website. Yes, I'm gonna show you how to make your own website, and you can show off all the things that you've learned and all the apps that you've created. We're gonna cover conditional, which are logical statements that we use in coding, and you're gonna get to build and design a soundboard app, which is pretty sweet. The sample soundboard app uses Daft Punk's Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger sounds, so I hope you enjoy that. So that's if you wanna continue past today. And there'll be some soundboard challenges too along the way. So let's start off with what is computer science. So I'm gonna actually let Tech Prep by Facebook take this away. They're gonna explain what computer science is. I'm gonna go ahead and just put their video on. And after the video, there's gonna be a short game show style quiz to make sure you understand what's important. So make sure you take good notes, all right? Because there's gonna be a little quiz. So here's the video. I hope you enjoy it. If you're having trouble seeing it on the stream, you can just go to yellkey.com/trouble, and you should also be able to find this video there. Here we go.
Computer science is the art of teaching a computer what to do. I'll start with something similar. Like a screwdriver is a tool that is made to kind of turn screws. And on its own, it's useless. You have to take it in your hand and kind of turn it to make something happen.
A computer actually learns a set of instructions and actually transform that into a way of showing a movie or playing an audio file or delivering Facebook. And that whole study of how the computer thinks is computer science.
It's code, and so code is a bunch of symbols and letters, but it's really more like a language.
I got here from Puerto Rico, and I didn't know English, so I had to spend a lot of time trying to perfect my English. Programmers do the same thing. They learn new languages to do new things. They are inputting this language and these instructions into the computer so the computer can do what they want them to do.
Growing up, I was one of the very few people who had access to a computer around me. And I remember being bored one day and I picked up this book that was near the computer that said basic programming. And they had this really simple getting started, a hello world program that you could write in BASIC. And I remember writing it and recognizing that, wait, hold on, I just put this thing in and taught this computer how to do that, and it came back out. And I had my brother come in and use it. And he's like, oh man, you made the computer say hello? It's like, yeah, I did. Isn't that cool?
In our everyday lives, you speak language and you use that to communicate and instruct when you're around people. Similarly, a programming language is exactly the same thing. It's just a language that you'd use to talk to the computer.
And think about the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning. Let's say it's an alarm clock. There are instructions that somebody put into that alarm clock to teach it how to tell time, how to respond to you hitting the snooze button. You're walking out the house and you jump in your car and you start it. There are lots of computers in there figuring out how to turn the engine the very first time, how much gas to put in. This set of instructions that people have put into all these little devices you've used throughout your day just made your day that much easier to get through.
You want directions, or you're dialing a phone number, you're actually interacting with a computer to solve the problem at hand. That's computer science and programming right there, every day, in your hand.
Programming and computer science is one of the best ways to have impact in the world. There is no other career, no other field where you can touch so many people's lives with just a simple software or a simple app. And it's specifically also important for diverse communities to be involved because of the fact that computers are everywhere, programming is everywhere, and we want an equal representation when we are building programs.
We need people who have a broad range of perspectives to find different solutions.
Creating products for the people, you need to be the people. And if we hope to have products out there that really serve our needs, we need to be involved. Programming, learning computer science, and being part of the creation process of this new wave of innovation.
All right, so I think we're just about ready for a little quiz show or a quiz game, all right? So I do realize there's a little lag here, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a little timer on. You've got 2 minutes to get into this quiz game, all right, 2 minutes. You're gonna go to either joinmyquiz.com/pro, or if that's too much typing, you could always type in yellkey.com/rock. It's gonna ask for your game code. Your game code is 046870. And we'll see who gets the highest score in this game. We've got 1 user so far. Nice. Let's see if we can get more than 1. Ah, we got 2. Nice. We have 3. We've got 4 now. And the timer is just about up. Oh, we got 5. Lisa jumped in there right at the D jumped in there right at the end. Here's who we've got. I hope you're ready. Oh, we got 6. Should I give people another second? I'm going to click start in 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. So go ahead and play the quiz game on your end. Oh, we got Lisa in the lead. Okay, looks like Lisa and Mao tied. We got Edmund in 3rd place right now. Looks like D is in 4th place. I guess that's technically third. And all right, here's the final sweep. Nice job. Cool. I hope you enjoyed that. It's just a little game to kind of make things a little bit more interesting. You know, why take a quiz when you could play a game show? Alrighty, now's the really fun part because you're actually going to get a chance to play a game that's going to show you a lot of the fundamentals of programming. And you're going to learn a lot. Your brain's going to work really hard. It should be fun. It's called Blockly Maze, and I'd like to give you a quick demo before we get started. So I'm actually going to go ahead and open this one up so that nobody can see any of the answers. So it's a pretty simple game. You're this character right here, and you can give this character instructions. And the goal is to get the character to get to the end point. So right now it has one move forward block in here. If I hit run program, it'll only move it forward one time. And I need to move it forward twice. So what I need to do is I need to grab this. So I'm going to just click and drag, and I can move this over here to the other move forward block. So now if I hit run program, success. All right. I'm just going to show you a couple things here. So when you get to level 3, there's a new block. This new block is called the repeat until block, right? This block will essentially loop whatever is inside of it in this section until the character gets to the end. So let's go ahead and I'll throw this in, and you can see if I can put things on top of it if I want, and I could put things inside of it. All right. And if you run this, this will probably work. All right. The next one I wanted to show you is on level 6. We see there's another new block. It's called the if path to the left block. It is a sensor. It is so cool. Essentially, watch this character as I hit if path to the left, and it will sense. You see that little Wi-Fi coming out of him? So he's going to sense if there's a path to the left. And we could tell him to do something if there actually is a path to the left. Just a little side note here. You can put things inside of here. You can put another if inside of here if you want. You can put this all inside of a repeat until if you want. This will not probably get you the right answer. All right. So you could also put things above here, all right, just to let you know a little bit of how this works, okay? Because I don't want you to get stuck. The last thing I want to show you is once you get to level 9, things get tricky, and there's a new type of if block. We call it an if-else block, right? And essentially it says if there's a path ahead, you could tell it to do something, but if there isn't, then you could tell it to do something else, all right? Something really cool to note here, you can put if statements inside of if statements. So you can maybe say if there's a path to the left, and if there isn't a path to the right, then do something. All right, you could also do that kind of stuff too, and you could put if else inside of things too. Your goal here is to get to level 9, all right? It is not easy. Right, I was in a room at Amazon with a bunch of developers, and I had them try it out, and not a lot of people could complete level 10. All right, level 10 is the real toughie here. Level 9's tough. I think you can get it though. It takes a little time. So to get here, you can either search Blockly Maze in Google, or you could just go to yellkey.com/kind. All right, so one or the other. It's a fun game. And you're going to learn the basics of coding. I'm going to put 30 minutes on the timer. You're going to be like, wow, that's a lot of time. But after 30 minutes, you'll be like, that was 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and put 30 minutes on the timer here. And let me know if in the chat if you need any help along the way. I'll see you very soon, and enjoy playing this little game. If you're just joining us right now, we are playing a really fun game. It's called Blockly Maze. You could either look it up in Google or you can go to yellkey.com/kind. This is a really great game for learning computer science. It's just to start us off. Let me know in the comments if you need any help. Hey, if you're just joining us, head on over to either yellkey.com/kind or search up Blockly Maze in Google, and you'll find the game that everybody's playing right now, where you have to try to get your character to the end of the screen, right, to the end spot. Let me know if you need any help in the comments. So since we're on Twitch and we got about 11-ish minutes left, I thought I'd go ahead and jump in and see how I do with Blockly and Maze. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. And I'm going to start off on level 5. Why not? Just to make things move forward a little bit. So, get it? Move forward. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move forward twice, turn left, and repeat until move forward to the end. Let's see what that does. All right, level 5. Now we're on level 6 with the if statements, which is this like sensing kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is I know I need to repeat until I'm only allowed 4 blocks total, or 5 blocks? 4 blocks total, 5 blocks total. So 4 more blocks I can throw in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, I'm going to repeat until I get to the end. I'm going to have it check. Is there a path to the left? And say, okay, is there a path to the left? And if there is a path to the left, I'm going to have it turn left, and then I'm going to have it move forward. Yeah, and then I'm going to have it do this. Okay, so it's going to do this if, move forward, if, move forward, if, move forward. So let's see what happens. If, move forward, it turns. All right, so far so good. So if anybody was getting stuck back there, got your back. All right, so, and success. All right, another one down. Let's go on to the next one. Oh, this is a toughie here. All right, I'm going to have it go repeat until, move forward. I'm going to check and see if there's a path. Since here we're just going to be going right, here we're going to be going right, here we're going to, all I want is my character to go right. So I'm going to say, hey, if there's a path to the right, take that right path to the right. And keep moving forward. I have 1 block left. I'll just use those. So it's checking. Is there a path to the right? Is there a path to the right? Not bad. Is there a path to the right? And another one. All right. Not so bad. All right. We're going on to the next one. Level 8. Things start to get a little bit more challenging because there's a left turn, a left turn, and then there's a right turn, and then a right turn, a right turn, a left turn, and then a right turn. It's kind of a toughie here. But I'm going to use these if statements. These are going to be my best friends. So I'm going to say repeat. I want it to check. If there's a path to the right, I want it to turn right. If there's a path to the left, I want it to turn left. And I want it to move forward after that. How's that sound? I even have 4 blocks left, so I could even say, hey, if there's a path ahead, move forward. Let's see what happens here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm getting stuck into this horrible loop. Okay. This did not work out. Oh, I know what the problem is. I have this if a path ahead, it should be if the path to the right. All right, or if the path to the left. Let's try this again. And it moves forward. Okay, good. Whew. This happens in coding. You have to like double check your code 2 or 3 times, make sure it works right. And the only real way to know whether or not your code works is to run your code. So we're learning a lot here. Trying to get the Twitch stream up, trying to see if we can get more than 1 viewer, but that 1 viewer out there, thank you so much. Feel free to say hello in the chat. I'm glad you're here. And we beat level 8. All right, I got about 4 minutes left to see if I could beat level 9, all right? And then maybe get to level 10. So for level 9 here, I need to move forward. I'm going to need it to turn left. I'm going to need it to not turn left, because if I go down here, I might get stuck. Okay. The good news is I've done this before, so I know there's like maybe 6 ways to beat this one. So I'm going to say, okay, if there's a path, I'm going to say, if there's a path to the right, I'm going to go left first, because I kind of want it to go left. I want it to turn left. Let's go with this. If there's a path ahead, I want it to move forward. If there isn't a path ahead, I want it to check to see if there's a path to the left. And I'm going to tell it to turn left, right? If there isn't a path ahead and there isn't a path to the left, I'm assuming there must be a path to the right. So I'm going to say, hey, is there a path to the right? And I'll have it turn right. Let's see what this does. I'm not sure if this is going to work. Let's see. So it'll check. There was a path to the left. It's moving forward. It's moving forward. It's pretty much going to just keep moving forward unless there isn't a path ahead. So what I did here, just so you kind of catch up here, it's I'm nesting, what we call it. I'm putting my if statements inside of an if statement, kind of like Inception, if you ever saw that movie. We're going to keep going on to the next level, the toughest level, level 10. And I got about 3 minutes to see if I could solve level 10. I've actually done this a couple times now. So we've 9 possible blocks. We got to go left, we got to go right, we got to go left, we got to go left, and we got to go right. It's going to be a toughie. But I think if we do something, we might be able to get it here. So we say, okay, if there's a path ahead, I want you to move forward. If there isn't a path ahead, I want you to see if there's a path to the right. But if I do that, I'll get here and I might get stuck down here. That's not so bad. Okay. If there's a path to the right, I'll go right. All right. And then I'm going to say, hey, go right. And if there isn't a path to the right, I'm going to say turn left and turn left. Cool. Let's see what this does. I'm pretty sure this won't work, but that's okay because there's a path always ahead. And now I'm stuck here. Lovely. This is not what I want. All right. Let's break this down one more time here. I'm going to start it off with if there's a path to the left, and I'm going to use a if else. So I'm going to say, all right, if there's a path to the left, I'm going to have it turn left. If there isn't a path to the left, I want it to go straight. And if there isn't a path to the right, I want it to turn right. Let's see what this does. Let's see if I can at least move past that first line. And we've moved. Oh no. Oh no. No. So now I'm realizing after I turn left, I need to move forward right away. That's not where I want it. I want it right there. So after we turn left, I want it to move forward right away. So let's see what happens here. Turn left and move forward. Okay, good. Turn left, move forward. It's gonna go right. I've got about 3 minutes left to beat this. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you think this is not gonna work, or if you think it is gonna work. I'll accept any and all answers. All right, so we're on the right path here. We're on the right path here. I see an issue. Uh-oh. And we are stuck. So what do we need to do? Well, if I want to keep everything the same and my character gets to here, I have 2 blocks left. I could say, hey, if you get stuck in this situation where you're in this else, well, why don't you turn around? Turn like left twice or right twice. So let's do that. Let's make it turn right twice and see what it does. So it's going left, and then it's going to go ahead and do the loop. And then it's going to go down. Right, and let's see if it turns around here. Nice. All right, I think we got this. Left and forward, and then it'll go left and forward. Then it'll have to take a right, and then it'll have to go forward. And that's how you beat level 10, everybody. All Alrighty, that was pretty good. Pretty good. I hope you enjoyed that, all the great people out there. And if you didn't get a chance to beat level 10, it's not going anywhere. So if you want after this to jump on in and see if you can beat level 10, go for it. So what have we learned from this game? We've learned a lot of really important things. The first thing we learned is how the blocks fit together, because the software system that we're going to be using called Thunkable is also in this block-based system. So you now realize blocks can go inside of each other, on top of each other. You could put if statements inside of if statements. So you've learned a lot with that. You've also learned that that all of the events happen, or everything happens in order from top to bottom, right? That's also very important, and that also happens in programming too. We also learned about loops, right? Loops are sequences of instructions that get repeated until a condition is reached. And we use the repeat until loop to get our character to the end in fewer blocks. And we do that in coding too. We try to use fewer lines of code if we can, because that'll make our programs run more efficiently by using loops. Then we also learned about this tough word called conditionals. If you're at home and you want to say conditionals, feel free to, right? So conditionals are when only certain actions can happen under certain conditions, all right? So for example, we said, if there's a path to the right, do something. If there's a path to the left, do something. If there's a path ahead, do something. And we also learned that there are drop-down menus, right? That's also pretty important. There are drop-down menus. That's very important because in Thunkable, which is what we're going to be using, there are drop-down menus as well. So you've been sitting at your computer for about maybe 45, 50-ish minutes. It's a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and give you some time to use the restroom, go get some more water because you probably use a ton of brain power. And when you come back, I'm going to show you Thunkable, and I'll let you run with a Thunkable scavenger hunt, which should be pretty cool. So I'm going to put about 5 minutes on the timer, and we'll meet back up, get some water, use the restroom, do whatever you got to do, and we'll see you in 5. Alrighty, that was enough ringing of that. So, I hope you enjoyed your little break there, because now I'm going to be talking about how we're going to be coding, all right? So, I'm sure a lot of you have heard of a bunch of different programming languages. Maybe you've heard of Java, JavaScript, or Python, or Ruby. There are a lot of different programming languages. And a lot of those programming languages that I was just mentioning are all text-based programming languages, right? Everything's written out in text form. In this class, we're going to be learning using a visual platform. We call it visual programming. And it's a drag and drop interface. So it's really helpful for beginners because you don't get caught up on whether or not you typed something incorrectly or you put a semicolon instead of a regular colon. So that's like the great thing about this platform. And this is what the visual programming looks like, right? This is what we call an event handler over here. And it's just saying, hey, when the button is clicked, there's a label somewhere on the screen. Make that label text say you're coding. So it's pretty simple, right? Because at the end of the day, all we're doing is we're giving these computers instructions, right? Or we're giving an app instructions. We're giving software instructions. So we're going to be coding using a website called Thunkable.com, right? And what can you actually build with Thunkable? Well, you could build some pretty impressive apps. You can build some health and wellness apps. You can build calculator apps. You can build location-based apps, so we can use the location on your cell phone. You could build game apps. You could build reference apps. So if you're in a very niche field and you want to build an app that has like all the calculations or certain things on there so you can reference them quickly, you could build that. You could build music apps or apps that play sounds. You could build internet-based apps so you can connect to different web servers if you'd like and have your app show things from different web servers. And you could even potentially build shopping apps. So it's a pretty impressive platform. Now, is it free? Well, and Thunkable, by the way, just so you all know, Thunkable has been updating their website constantly. And just about a month ago, it was free for unlimited projects, but now it's only free for about 10 projects. You're only allowed to have 200 megabytes of account storage. Your Thunkable App Branding, if you ever publish an app, it's going to say like Thunkable on it. And you can test pro components like AdMob, right? Notice though, these are all public projects. So if you ever happen to decide to build an app with Thunkable and you want it to be secretive until you launch, right? You don't want anybody stealing your idea. You need to pay for the pro account, all right? That's really important that I say that right now. If you're going to build something secretive and you don't want anybody to know about it, please get the pro account, all right? But it's perfect for learning because we're just going to be building very simple apps to teach you computer science, right? If you do get the pro account, you could publish as a mobile web app. You could also have unlimited private and public projects. You could have a gig of storage. You can have your own branding. You can test and publish with pro components. And they have an expedited service for publishing apps to their app store or to the Play Store. Now, just so you know, I am not affiliated with Thunkable, at least for right now. Not affiliated with them. I was introduced by a good friend of mine to the platform, and I had used other platforms that are very similar, like App Inventor, and I found it to be very great in the fact that you can use both iPhones and Android phones with this platform. So it's pretty cool. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to kind of teach you a little bit of what user interfaces are, also known as UI, which a lot of you have maybe heard of before. And then I'm going to show you Thunkable's UI in a very short demo, and then you're going to get to do this mini scavenger hunt, which I think a lot of you will enjoy. And at the end of the scavenger hunt, you're going to build a basic app. All right, so it'll be pretty sweet. So let's start off talking about what is a user interface. Well, we've all heard of users, and some of us might have heard of developers. So let's break that down. A user is a person who uses software. All right, so, we might be, typing in our username or our password, right? We might be, looking at Spotify and choosing a song, or Apple Music and choosing a song. So users use the software. And we have developers, and developers are the people who develop the software. Developers develop the software. Makes sense. So what's the user interface then? The user interface is the way that the user or humans interact with the technology, right? And every software system has a different user interface, right? Mac has its own user interface. Windows has its own user interface. Apple Music has one user interface, while Spotify has a different user interface, right? And what's the difference? Well, it depends on the user. Certain users have certain needs. So, and just so you know, this you can actually get a career all about designing user interfaces. So if you like this kind of stuff of just designing where everything would go so that the user has a great experience, right? There's an actual job called user experience design or user interface experience designers, right? And you could totally go into that profession too. So let's go ahead and make an account. I'd like you all to go to thunkable.com and go ahead and make an account. You're going to use Google to make an account. You're going to need a Google account. So if you don't have one, you can make one for free. I'm going to throw 3 minutes on the timer. That's probably a little bit too much time, but we'll see how things go, okay? So just about 3 minutes to go ahead and try to sign in with Google and see if you can get in there. I'm going to actually change it to about 2 minutes, all right? See you soon. If you're jumping in with us right now, you can go ahead and head over to thunkable.com and just make an account really quickly. And make sure you hit sign in with Google. If you don't have a Google account, you can go ahead and make one for free. We're going to go ahead and get started in just about 1 minute. Alrighty, so now that you made an account, I'm just going to give you a very brief overview of what Thunkable looks like and where everything is located. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to hit login, and I've been logged in a lot of times into Thunkable. So yours actually might look more like this with these squares. So this is one of their newest features. You can actually make it into list view, and this is where you get to see all of your projects. If you want to make a new project, you're just going to hit this create new project, and I'm just going to call this, showing live, because I'm showing you how to do it live. So once you get in, Thunkable has a great interface. On the left-hand side, they've got some tutorials. I'm going to go ahead and just move those out of the way to make the screen a little less busy. That's just with this purple button right here. And once we look here, in the middle, you see a phone screen. This is actually what the phone screen will look like that you're programming for the app. Right, so we've got a phone screen over here, and I like to start off on the left-hand bottom side here first. This area, and everything could be moved, which is kind of nice. This area here are all of the potential components or the little tools that we can use in our apps. So for example, there are buttons, there's labels, we could have text inputs, which are like text box, we can have a list viewer, we can show the web, we can have switches, sliders, you name it. And there are a lot of components. We could have sound components, text to speech, speech recognizer, we can use the camera component. We can have videos show up on the screen. We can connect to databases, right, which is pretty impressive. We can use location, so we can use location sensors. We can use some of the sensors on our phones, like the accelerometer or the gyroscope, or even the magnometer, which is really impressive stuff here. So these are all of your components. And to add a component in, you're just going to drag and drop it onto the screen here. Now that's option one. So I'll show you option one. You could drag and drop it into the screen here. Right? And if you notice, right away, we see the component right here on the left side. And the other way you can add in a component is you can drag a component over here on the left side. And these components, you can drag and move them around if you'd like as well. On the right-hand side, we have all of the properties, all right? These are all of our properties for the component that's selected, right? So this button's called button 2, right? And it says that right here. And I can change the properties, so I can make it say like live or whatever I want it to say. I can change the background color of this button. I can make it yellow if I want. I can change the font size. I can change the picture. I can change its height, its width, and there's even some advanced options here if I'd like as well. So this is all the front end stuff. The last thing I wanted to show you on this side is if you want to rename your components, you can. You can click this rename button all the way over here, and I can rename it maybe bottom button to show that I'm talking about the bottom button. I could have also called it live button or whatever I'd like. And you can see over here, it already changed it to bottom button. All right. We can also have invisible components, which are things like sound. They'll show up over here. And we can also add files to our app right here. Now, if I head on over to the block section, right, this is where all the programming happens. At the top right here, these blocks with colors next to them, I call these the built-in blocks, all right? It's a great place to find blocks that are gonna help you build your app. We have different blocks like control blocks, like the if statements that we saw in the game earlier, and we even have some loops down here that we can use as well. We have logic statements like equal signs, greater than, less than, and, or, true, false, not, or null. We have math, so we could do addition, subtraction, multiplication. We can get random numbers or integers. We can get a random fraction if we'd like. We can ask it the remainder of things. We could do sine, cosine. We could even do pi if we need to. All right, so these are the math blocks. Under text, we could do a lot of things with text, right? We can have text, we can join text, we can get the length of text, we can ask if there's a letter in text. There's a lot of different text things that we can do. Under lists, we can actually create lists, we can add items to lists, we can find the length of lists, so there's a lot of list options here. We can get colors, and we can even create colors if we'd like to. On the device, we can ask what the device's current time is. We can ask whether or not the platform is iOS or Android and to do certain things if it is a certain way, right? We can also see objects. This is for when you're connecting to a database. We can have variables, which we'll talk about way later. And there are even functions in here. And below that, you can see the components you've already added. So we've got the button over here, we've got the bottom button, and we've got the screen one component, which if we look in our designer is there as well. The screen one component is what the screen's properties are. So we could change our background image. We could say, hey, we want everything to be aligned vertically to the top, right? We can say, hey, horizontally, we want everything aligned to the left, so we can change our alignment. We can make our app scrollable or not scrollable. We can say, hey, show the status bar or don't show the status bar. So there's a lot of options here and even advanced options as well. I'm pretty much done talking. I know that was a lot of talking. I just kind of wanted to give you a little overview before you go ahead and jump on into a scavenger hunt. All right. So I created this really awesome worksheet. I could sit here and talk to you all day about the different things in Thunkable, but you're really gonna learn by actually doing things. So I have this worksheet, and in this worksheet, you're gonna go ahead and look through Thunkable and try to find certain things in its user interface. And by the end, you'll actually have built your first app. So if you wanna open this up as a copy in Google Drive, you can go to this link right here, yellkey.com/item. Let's say you're like, I don't want to type anything into Google Drive. I just want to see the worksheet. If you just want to see the worksheet, you can go to yellkey.com/old. And let's say you're like, I might need some help. You can go ahead and go to the link below to get step-by-step video help with your worksheet. All right, so if you need like somebody to just step-by-step go over each piece, you can go to yellkey.com/letter, and there's a great video that I created where it's me, just like this, but I'm showing you step-by-step how to go through the worksheet. All right, I'm gonna give some people a little bit of time here to jump on in. And I'm just gonna go over the worksheet really quick for some people out there who might get a little confused. All right, so you're gonna create a new project, call it Scavenger Hunt, and essentially it just tells you what to do from beginning to end. All right, so on the left-hand side, we have the add component box, which I just went over, right? In this column, you can also find all of the components, right? When you hover over the component, you'll see a little question mark, all right? That question mark will tell you what that component does. All right, so for each component here, you're gonna click that question mark and you're gonna try to figure out what it does. And then after that, you can choose a different, your choice of a component in the empty space. You're gonna do that for some of the user interface ones. You can do that for some of the layout ones, for some of the voice ones, and you could just choose any components that you might be interested in learning. After that, you're gonna start editing some components, you're gonna start adding some components, and then you're gonna actually start renaming components. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get this really awesome sound. It is such a cool sound. It sounds like this. And my audio's off. Let's try that again. Sounds like this. Cool. So you're gonna use this sound and you're gonna have this sound play at a certain time, and then you're gonna build, you're gonna then look at the blocks, and you're gonna start putting the blocks together to understand where everything, what are the different blocks and what things can do, and then you're gonna start editing the blocks and putting the blocks together. So it's quite a little bit of work. I'll be here watching. Let me know at any point if you need any help at all. You can go ahead and send it in the chat. I see I got my boy Matthew Washington, my student from last year. He's all in there. Hey, Matthew. All right. Hey, thanks for being here. And yeah, let me know if you need any help along the way. But this is the best way I've learned to teach this because you're better off learning by doing. All right. So I'll meet back up with you in about maybe 20, 25 minutes, and we'll see how things are going. All right. And I'll be watching this chat to see how things are going. All right. We'll be talking very soon. And feel free to write a comment in the live stream. And let me know if you need any help. I'm here to help. Hey everybody, I just wanted to check in, see how things are going. Please feel free to send me a message if you are lost or confused or need any help at all. All right, enjoy. We'll be meeting back up in about 8.5, 9 minutes. See you soon. Just about 5-ish minutes left. Please let me know in the comments if you need any help at all. See you soon. So we had a quick question here on how to drag in the designer. How do we drag in, how do we drag a second button in? So I'm gonna just go ahead and open up Thunkable here. And to just drag in, to have a second button, you can find that over here under Add Components. And there's a button here, so we can just click and hold and drag. You could drag it in to either the phone screen, or you could drag it in up here if you'd like as well. Either one, and you should be able to have your button in there. If that's not working for you for whatever reason, you might need to refresh your page, all right? We'll be continuing on in about another minute, or I'm sorry, 3 or 4 minutes left, all right? Oh, sorry, 2 minutes left. We'll be talking soon. Hey everybody, that was the end of time there, but I have a feeling you might need a little bit more time. So I'm gonna throw on there another 3 minutes to give some people a little bit more time to kind of try to figure this out. And let me know in the comments again if you need any help. We'll be talking soon. righty, everybody. I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope you really got something cool out of this. I hope you're, motivated to kind of learn computer science now. Now, let's say you do want to continue learning computer science and you're into it. Here's some potential next steps. Option 1 is you really like this and you can continue all by yourself. All right. You can finish this course completely for free at LibreTeacher.com. We are at the spot where it says how certain blocks fit together. So you could just go into the first course. It's completely free. Jump on in and you can go to the lesson that says how certain blocks fit together, and you can work from there. And you can build about 5 more apps before the end of this first course. Option 2 is I like this, but I don't think I could do it by myself. And that's okay. If you'd like to do that, you can actually get private lessons from me, or you can start a group to get a group discount if you're into that. If you go to LibreTeacher.com/services, or if you click on services, if you're at LibreTeacher.com, you can see the different pricing that I have available for private classes if you're into that. And you also get all of the courses included for a whole year if you decide to do private lessons. The other option is you're like, that was fun, that was cool, but like, come on, Lieberman, I'm ready for Python, I'm ready for Java, I'm ready for JavaScript, I'm ready for the tough stuff, all right? Hey, that's super great. Kudos to you. I'm super excited that you're there and you feel like you're ready to go there. My recommendation is code.org has a fantastic free course on JavaScript. So if you're learning JavaScript for the first time, code.org has a fantastic, it's a hybridized language, so it has both visual and text-based components in there. It's a really great course. I highly recommend it. It's called Discoveries, CS Discoveries. And option 4 is, this is fun, but I don't like coding. That's cool. Coding isn't for everybody, so it's totally okay. So no problem. Just feel free to share this with a friend, right? And if you felt like this was kind of cool and you enjoyed it, I'm going to be back here next week, 5:30 p.m. And you could invite a friend. You could tell a friend to go check it out, or tell a coworker, tell a colleague. Post on Facebook, hey, go check out LibreTeacher's class next Friday because it'll be pretty sweet. And if you could, before you go, I have a very short survey. I'm just trying to get data. What did you like from this class? Is there anything I should change from this class? You could go to yelkey.com/field over here and take this really short survey to just give me a little bit of insight onto what worked and what didn't work for you. In the end, I really, really appreciate you all coming for the first one ever. The next one will be a repeat. So if you've already taken this web live sort of class today, you don't have to take the next one. But if you want to continue, just go to LibreTeacher.com. It's pretty much me doing the same exact thing, right? But in a video format, so you can pause things. And I've got a really great software that allows me to show you exactly where I'm talking about on the screen. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Head over to yelkey.com/field when you get the chance. Fill out the survey, and please, if you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section. And it was great teaching you all today. I had a lot of fun, and we'll be talking very, very soon. Take care, and like I said, please let me know if you need anything at all. And it was great working with you all. Have a good day.